Miami Dolphins versus Sam Darnold and the Indianapolis Colts.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida. As a moment ago, the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they interplay in this one. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 24-year-old quarterback in his 4th season from USC, a former 3rd overall pick, Sam Darnold.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. A first carry for a Miami native. This is Dalvin Cook. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. Here's Darnold. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And, Charles, you see the numbers for Amari Cooper last week. 6 catches, 89 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
On second down, Cook. And some space here. A big pickup there on the run. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Dalvin Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
And here's Tucker McCann now for the PAT. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Jackson now to return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Leading him out, the rookie from Ohio State at 22 years of age, it's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. This defense for the Colts, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
High throw, but the catch is made. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot in the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown? That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And a good stiff arm and some space to run. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Jackson now to return. And he returns this to the 22. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick six last time out. From the 29, Fields, and his throw here's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
He goes right back to Green. He's got it complete.
I know they got the first down, but Brandon, I still don't like the call going for it there. Yeah, they got it, but I would have punted the ball there, played some field position. I mean, it's okay to end drives and kicks, right? You know, we've heard that from different guys before. Remember, a kick's either a punt, right, field goal, or a point after touchdown. It's okay to end it in a kick.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. On second down, here's Mixon. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. A shotgun snap, Fields. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. Nothing to score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. It's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
Meanwhile, Darnold's throw caught here by Metcalf. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big play that. that time through the air. 30 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air. Nice chunk of yardage there. And then a dish.
Touchdown. Amari Cooper, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. Well, you talk about just coming in and completely seizing momentum. They can go up 21-0 here. We haven't even hit halftime.
And the other part of this, you can start to feel the unrest here in the stadium. I think these fans are saying, what hit us? And this isn't about fantasy points. This is about rooting their team on.
Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play there for Miami.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Back to throw. Fields. Pass incomplete with the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
The scoreboard tells a story for them a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points. Not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. And I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Darnold now to throw. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jalen Guyton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Go. Check 93's the mic. 93's the mic. Cut.
Fields on first down. Being chased out left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now a first down throw. Fields. Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To the air again, Fields. Then he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Brian Flores learned under the master. He's going to go on 4th down. They snap it to Fields. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. From the 41, Darnold. That's to Cook out of the backfield. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career. I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Darnold's throw there taken in by Smith. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? Andrew Thomas, former first-rounder from Georgia, called for the penalty there. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Again, Darnold. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and 11. Darnold. Catch is made by Metcalf. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Metcalf. As the first half is winding down, and the Colts would extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by McCann, up and good, and the rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they'll take over with just 16 ticks remaining before intermission. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense. A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
A final shot before the break. Fields. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We get things started up at MetLife Stadium. The Titans in town to take on Gang Green. And it's the Jets who have the lead in the second quarter. The Jets seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we head down the turnpike to see what's happening with the Eagles at home in Philadelphia. And they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Carson Wentz lighting things up. 3 touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And you can see they lead the visiting Houston Texans at halftime. T.Y. Hilton, a touchdown catch in that first half. In our game, it was Sam Darnold who was on target in the first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. Jackson now to return. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you just have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
3 yards the gain there, second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the 27, Fields. And this one's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
From the gun on third down, Fields. And that is incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So here are the Colts to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. 82 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And that's why Dalvin Cook is the Minnesota Vikings feature back. You put the ball in his hands, good things happen. 2nd in the NFL last year in rushing with 1,557 yards, and that's now back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with 30 combined total touchdowns. What a player is Dalvin Cook.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Darnold from the red zone now. He'll find Metcalf. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
To throw is Darnold, and he's got it. Touchdown, Colts. Jonnu Smith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts have got it on cruise control. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Jackson now to return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Miami set to take over. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Fields. And he'll go back to Kelsey. This time it's caught. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
On first down, it's Fields. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Fields now to throw. Buying time to his left. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
To throw is Fields. Dancing to his left. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, they certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Here we go on 4th down. Fields. That's to his running back, complete. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Back now in Miami. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Forced out to his left. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Fields. His throw incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
From the gun, here's Fields. Eluding the pressure right. This is caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So
then he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Tucker with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort, at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Danny Trevathan there to bring him down. 2nd and 8 coming up. Again, it's Cook. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. The Colts on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. On the give, this is Cohen. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
2nd and 5. On the handoff, it's Cohen. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
First down, a run with Cohen. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Toss play, Cohen, right side. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. McCann's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Dolphins getting set to go here. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. On first down, Fields. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Fields throw here complete to Kelsey. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far.